Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do May 10th Spiritual Principle a Day in a meditation for you. Let's go ahead and get right into that. The title of the meditation, Perseverance Helps Us Stay. We may tire mentally in repeating our new ideals and tire physically in our new activities. Yet we know that if we fail to repeat them, we will surely take up our old practices. That comes from the basic text, chapter 7, rather, recovery and relapse. Many of us can say, relapse is a part of my story. From our own experience and from listening to each other share, we know the possibility that we might not stay clean is very real. What causes an addict in recovery to choose to get high again? It can be anything, really. But in unaware, I got this can be especially dangerous. We tire of hearing the message, sharing the message, and frankly, each other. The sun goes down and comes back up on what seems like the same day. We become increasingly cranky and unfulfilled, having become disillusioned with life clean, but without recovery. Maybe we even quit going to meetings. Eventually, we reach outside of ourselves to fix our insides and use again. When we come back to the rooms, we tell our story of complacency and sitting on that stepwork. While there are endless versions of the relapse story, we all have heard the ones that don't have happy Narcotics Anonymous endings. Not everybody makes it back to NA and has the opportunity for another go at recovery. Knowing we could die out there or not die, but bring ruin to our livelihood and relationships doesn't keep us clean. So what does? We know the answer to that question is pushing through with the basics of steps, service, sponsor, and higher power. Is breathing life into our recovery in whatever ways we can. Start a new meeting, take on another sponsee, read the daily spot entry. It's doing what we all have done in the past, again, just for today. It's carrying the message to a newcomer to remind ourselves of where we came from and what was so freely given to us. It's not picking up, even when we want to. It's staying, even when we don't want to. Perseverance can be an antidote to complacency. We want to live, so we have to keep on living. We don't need a new relapse story or one at all. It's preventable, not inevitable. Today, I will honor the rewards of recovery that I worked hard for by persevering in what I know works, the program of NA. I want to stay and keep what I have so I can give it to others. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. I don't even know what type of moment of silence that was. My mind is in a million places right now. Um, so attribute that gravity to my mind and not my heart, right? You know, it's really good to be in recovery. It's really good to be able to sit still for a moment and think about, words on a page written by someone else and just really think about the truth of them. You know, if I don't have another surreal moment during the course of my day, which I'm sure I will have several, but just say if I don't have another moment, this is a perfect moment. This is a perfect moment of reflection. And I hope that you're reflecting. I hope that you're thinking about your story and whether or not it involves relapse or not. The point is that in order to live, we have to keep on living. And I was thinking about then what that means is that I personally do the things that allow me to live a moment longer, a day longer, hopefully several years longer in today. I start with today. I start with this moment right now. And I'm thinking about what other things, besides not using drugs, what are some other things that I can change in my life? Because there's some things that I've gotten done, right? Down really, really well. As you see, waking up doing an early morning meditation. I think it's about, I don't even know what time it is now, but it's 5:30. I've been up for I've been up for too long. I got a neighbor that I'm nowhere near my neighbor, but I have a neighbor that is oxygen dependent, and he called me like 7 or 8 times around 2:40. And of course, I didn't get the message until 3:40, because my phone is always on do not disturb when I'm sleeping. And he didn't answer. And so, of course, I panicked, realizing that it may be too late to help him. But the police officers were really kind to me, 911. They got right over there and they even called me back to let me know that the ambulance had gotten to him and that they were taking him to the hospital. And so been up a while and I've been thinking about, this particular gentleman and his COPD and dependency on nicotine. And I've been thinking about how hard it is to stop stuff that we love to do or eventually we become dependent upon, right? And, there's some things that I want to stop doing. I want to increase the length of my life. Narcotics Anonymous has taught me how to take this program and apply it, right? These spiritual principles and apply it in all of my affairs. I want a healthier lifestyle, right? I want for my joints not to be riddled with arthritis. I want to come away from being borderline diabetic, which requires that I stop eating certain things. There's a lot of things that if I want to live, I have to keep on living. And part of keeping on living, to keep living, is for me to stop doing the things that bring about a less quality life, even death in some instances. We got people that are relapsed and they're doing very good in the program today. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be doing good come July 4th, or Labor Day weekend or, Thanksgiving or Christmas. You got some people, they do good during a portion of the year, but summer comes and it's it's a wrap. You have people that relapse, once a year. You have people that relapse once a month. You have people that have never relapsed, or you have people that relapsed years ago and they've never gone back to using again. I don't think any of that is relevant. What I think is relevant is figure out why one relapses and avoid that just one day at a time. You know, it's easier said than done. But for some people like myself, I've gotten that piece of not picking up the drug down pretty well. It's the other things, right? It's the self-scrutiny, right? It's the um, self-degradation. It's the second guessing, 50 different thoughts about this one thing, one small thing about what I could do and what I should do, how I should handle this or shouldn't handle this. And it throws me right back into step 1, 2, and 3. Surrender, believe that I can be restored to sanity and turn it over on a deeper level, not a surface level. Because the deeper level, lack of surrender is what keeps me up at night, right? This neighbor across the street, you know, um, that disturbs me that I get a phone call to call 911 instead of them making a phone call to call 911. Because in this situation, a whole hour has passed before I actually call 911. I have no idea if they survived that whole hour. But I would like to think if you pick up the phone 8 or 9 times and you don't get an answer and you're trying to tell the person to call 911, that is at least, at least 9 more, if not more, points of contact with one's telephone than just dialing 911. And so that shows me that there's a level of confidence in MightyStream, but there's also it puts me in a position I don't want to be in, right? For someone else's habit that they cannot stop. And so I'm thinking about that. But what about my own things that I cannot stop, that don't bring about living on a deeper level? I don't want to be that. I want to live, but in order to do it, I have to keep on living. And in order to keep on living, I have to do the things that don't involve relapse in various areas. Picking up the drug is just a symptom. So let's not get distracted with that. Let's not get our feelings on our sleeves about that, because it's mentioned here several times. There's many things that we can do that is not about living. And today we want to be about living, right? Many things. It can be online shopping. It could be gambling. It could be, sex addiction. There's many things that can take us out on a payment plan. And so let's look at the whole picture, not just part of the picture with a few words. Have we become complacent and intolerant? And if we have, we need to figure out why and change it, because we can't afford to be intolerant. We can't afford to be closed-minded and dishonest, right? We need to how the program every day of our lives and every moment. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose.